This presentation goes through the topic of risky play. Do you remember as a child swinging around and around in circles until you fell over? Jumping off steps and walls, play fighting, balancing along the top of walls, or climbing trees? Risky play is an important part of childhood. Children take risks from the moment they're born, and we know this, otherwise they'd never roll over, sit up, crawl, or even learn to walk. Children want and need some level of risk in their play. Health and safety is always going to be important, but risk-taking is a valuable part of play. Even if it means there is the odd scuffed knee, it's still worth it for the learning that takes place. So what activities would we consider risky? Risk-taking can be seen in many activities children take part in. And when we consider examples of this, we might think of some of the following. It could be climbing, and this could be on a frame or running up the slide instead of going down it, or climbing to the top of a slide roof or wall. Balancing, this could be going across the top of the wall or precariously going over objects or structures. Jumping, this could be from height or object to object. When building structures, so this may be with large loose parts that look precarious while being balanced and built. Or using DIY tools such as hammers and screwdrivers, or using garden tools such as spades and forks. But we must remember that there's also a risk when using smaller objects such as staplers, scissors, knives, etc. Why is risky play important? Risky play is a valuable part of play, allowing children to become resilient and helps them to learn how to respond to changing situations in their lives. By teaching children how to manage risks, they will become more aware of the safer way of doing things. Within the EYFS, risky play is not in all areas of learning, but it can be found in the characteristics of effective teaching and learning. These are playing and exploring, active learning, and creating and thinking critically. Risky play builds confidence, willing, independent, and creative learners. That's vital for later life. We can't guess what our children's futures look like or what they'll need to know to succeed, but we can ensure that they have the right attitude to learning and mental well-being to manage whatever comes their way. There are many benefits to children taking part in risky play, including some of the following. It builds emotional and physical resilience. They learn to respond flexibly in changing situations. It raises their confidence, develops their brain's ability to deal with change, and builds resilience and flexibility that have lifelong benefits as life changes. So as they grow up, they're more able to deal with what life throws at them. Risky play is a great way to engage with children that struggle to sit still or listen for long periods of time. It's especially beneficial for engaging boys. And taking risks as children can help keep them stay safer later in life, as they're able to assess the risks of different situations. How do we support children through risky play? There should always be adequate supervision. We should risk assess, for example, positioning equipment away from windows or using crash mats where we feel it's necessary. We should check toy suitability for the age of children and dispose of those that are unsafe or broken. We should agree a set of rules with the children that are set at the children's level of understanding. While children are constructing, it is a great time to get them to talk through their thought process of how they think they're going to achieve what they're doing. And of course, modelling how to use tools and equipment safely is always a great way of children learning. When considering risky play, we need to ask ourselves some questions. So is it really necessary to ban activities such as conkers, or should we just be risk assessing? Is it possible for everything a child does to be absolutely safe? Remember, accidents can sometimes teach children how to take care of themselves better. Should we trust children's judgment about if something's safe and accept the consequences so long as it's not life-threatening? And do you take the time to weigh up if saying no is the right thing for yourself and the child? You should always think before you say no. Children seek out challenging activities because they need to. You need to use your judgment and weigh up whether it's crucial to say no or whether it's just being done out of habit. Is the benefit of allowing a child to challenge themselves more beneficial than the potential for harm? You need to take a common sense approach. So can you harm children by being overcautious or making them scared of situations or people? They need to know how to keep themselves safe, but they need to develop the confidence to make their own way in the world too. Remember, children are statistically at greater risk within yours or their own home. Statistics about accidents show that children are more likely to be injured in their own home or yours than outside in the playground or woods. So this is worth bearing in mind. So what's the role of the adult? To make sure that all health and safety procedures and policies are adhered to ensure that the equipment is safe and appropriate for the ages of children that you have, to provide equipment and clothing to ensure children are safe and protected whatever the weather. You should show your enthusiasm for being outside and join in when invited. Play experiences should be fun and exciting, and you should ensure all children can take part if they wish to. You should make sure the activities offered extend each individual child's learning and skills. You should reflect on what worked, didn't work so well, and what you'd like to do differently next time. And you should work closely with parents so activities can be enhanced and practiced at home.